Okay. Hmm. What? Oh my, really? Okay. My hair started brushing itself. It just sometimes it either knocks the brush off the counter or I don't know, it just seems to went itself today. That was interesting. So I need to update the long hair website. I haven't updated it for a bit, but maybe I'll do a custom. We'll see. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. Hi. No, my hair's not straightened. It's the same. It's just a little wet. My hair's just a little wet, so it's kind of flattened out a bit. But look. Does that look straight? Not really. Like, oh, like hair curling up into this. Not very straight. You know what I'm saying? I don't comb through a section. I feel like it's great as well. So I can braid really far. Down to the end. See. Okay, now we're gonna start pinning up this one braid. Oh. Okay, so time check. 55. Ugh, I hate that time. I wish I would have started earlier. That's always my refrain. I wish I would have started earlier. I'm not like these other people that like to do everything in whip next whip neck speed, like they're just like all about fast, fast, fast. Like they push themselves to bring some back. I'm like, why are you doing that? I think you can actually go faster doing something if you're not pushing yourself to the brink. That's just my take on it. Stop pushing yourself to the brink and back. It could be a shirt, or go against the California grain. I always think like, don't like be a rush, like, because people are always in a rush. They're like, oh, I need to get going, I need to get going, and then what are they going out to do? Okay, unless you have like some high-powered career, and if you did, you probably have an assistant shopping for you. A lot of people are just going home to watch television or something, or I don't know, play on their phone. Like, it's not like every time somebody's in a rush, and I'm like, plan it better. Like, I don't know. This is why I don't agree with the people who say you can't walk in California. They're wrong. Wrong, like so much. I'll tell you what. You can walk in California, and public transportation is getting better. So it's not true. You just kind of have to change your expectations. Like, yeah, you can't live 2 hours from your job. But who wants to do that anyway? If you're commuting in your car, I don't think it's that much more enjoyable. Like, work in the city you live in. It makes more sense. If you have to travel, like, I don't know, when you start living more than 10 miles from work, just in my opinion, it just seems a little too far. I only do like 3 to 4. I actually want to live closer. I like to do things more locally personally, and it works for me because people spend a lot of their time and money commuting. They really do. And then they're always angry and irritated because they have to get on the road, and I don't know. Anyway, that's all that is, I guess. It's pretty good. You let your fingers be the comb? Watch this. I see this. Ah. I don't like all that silly nonsense hair play that they do. Like, okay, I'm silly, but like that hair play that they do on some. some of the more, photo shooty type channels. I'm just like, that's not me. Like, I don't do that. I just do natural things with my hair, you know? Hi. But they're like, does somebody really do 20 hairstyles in 5 minutes? Do you believe that? If you believe that, it's not true. It's just photo shoots, okay? If there's, I think it's very stylized and beautiful, but I think I like the ones that are more, I don't know, ethnic. Like if they showcase something like from a particular culture, like showing like one hairstyle and it could be aesthetically beautiful. Like if it's just a whole bunch of hairstyles, I don't, maybe this is just me, but I don't get it because I'm like, why can't you just pick a hairstyle and do it really beautifully and just showcase the beauty of that hairstyle and make it aesthetic that way? Why does it have to be like showing tons and tons of styles at once? It's just like, I don't understand, but I don't think those videos are for me either. I just like to share long hair and everything I do is what I want to do, you see? And do this channel in a way that's organic, like whatever kind of pops into my head. Like sometimes like if I make an edited video, I do put a lot of thought into it. But if I just make a live stream, like I think about like, well, what do I want to call the video for the day? What do I want to do? Some days I have a topic to talk about. Today I don't really have a specific topic. I'm just kind of doing my hair. I had this funny thought though. I don't know if people remember the Chatty Cathy doll, but I was thinking, what if they had like a Chatty Cathy guy doll, like a grown man, and you pulled the string and then it would just start talking? I just thought that'd be funny. Like, I don't know, like instead of a child doll, but like it could be for like, I don't know, grown-ups. And then like, I don't know, if somebody just didn't want to talk, they could bring this doll with them and pull the string and it could start. It's just a funny thought that popped into my head. But if you've ever wondered where the term Chatty Cathy came from, it's from that doll because kids would pull its string over and over and over again and it would start chattering away and it just could become very obnoxious for parents who bought the doll for their kids and they're getting mad at their kids for playing with something that they bought for them. I mean, the Chatty Cathy doll was around for years. It was around when my mom was little, but she said she never had one. I think her cousin had one or something. Um, but back in the 80s and 90s, oh my gosh, there were so many. That's like when I would say toys became a mega business because before kids would have like, I don't know, like a train set or toy soldiers or dolls, and it wasn't like this big $multi-million and like Toys R Us kind of changed that. Actually, you know, like in the 90s you had Tickle Me Emo, but back in the 80s people were going rabid for Cabbage Patch dolls. And I remember my mom told me that they were selling like contraband or like knockoffs of Cabbage Patch dolls in the parking lot of Toys R Us. Like these people just had this operation with the dolls, and instead of paying $150 in the store, you could pay $150 or something. I'm just like who needs that much? I don't know. I never had a Cabbage Patch doll, and that's okay. Later on, my sister ended up having one, and I think she had the American Girl doll, and those things are expensive too. In fact, we have two of them. She still has it here somewhere, but where is it? I don't know. But it's just funny, like I'm just like they're expensive. They're like 100 and something dollars. I think it's up in the closet somewhere, but it's just like she'd kept it. But oh my gosh, so expensive for a doll. Like I get it, like if you're a doll collector, I guess, but I'm not a doll collector, so I could I don't wanna be a minimalist, okay? I feel like that's just kinda can there be a happy medium between minimalism and being a hoarder? I just wanna say that because I don't like hoarding, like, hoarding makes me feel PTSD. I have a problem when people can't get rid of certain things. I'm just like, "No, no, no." And I want, like, things to kinda be decluttered, and I will declutter things if it starts to feel overwhelming to me. But then on the other end of the spectrum, the minimalism thing is just too like, the whole capsule wardrobe thing. I feel like I need to make a video about that soon, but I'm sure, like, the minimalist community or capsule wardrobe people, they're gonna kinda come after me if I do that, but I'm gonna tell you why I don't want a capsule wardrobe. I like clothes and I have things I bought, and maybe, like, let's say I don't I'm so glad I never listened to the gurus who said, "Well, if you haven't worn something in, like, 3 or 4 years or 6 months, blah, 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 you should throw it out." Well, a while back, I had lost weight, and there were clothes I'd had from years earlier. When I lost weight, I wore them, and I put on a little bit of weight, and I do wanna lose it, but if I ever lose weight again, I can wear those clothes. So I don't get rid of clothes unless I just decide I did get rid of some clothes, like, this fall because they kind of were cluttering up my closet, and they were things I didn't really wear. They were things I didn't really buy myself either, because I don't know, my parents and my sister would sometimes just give me things that they thought I would like, and sometimes I liked them, but one thing that my mom used to do is she'd give me a lot of T-shirts, and I just had way too many T-shirts, and I don't really love T-shirts that much. Like, I have a few that I've made on Zazzle, and I have a few that I bought myself, and a couple that my friend Aya sent me from her book. But beyond that, I don't know. I don't wear a lot of T-shirts unless they have like a picture I really like. Like, I'm not a T-shirt and jeans kind of person. So I ended up just getting rid of a lot of T-shirts that had been given to me because they just had kind of like I still have some, but I don't wear them, and, people that think, "Oh, they have to fold everything up so it's in their closet," and I'm like, I hate that because I don't know, how can you see it? If you can't see it, you might not wear it. So I don't wanna be a minimalist, but I don't wanna be, like, hoarding or stockpiling certain things, I just want a happy middle. And when do I start feeling like, yeah, I need to get rid of something or declutter something? It's when I start feeling overwhelmed by the thing, and I don't follow Mary Kondo's advice. Like, I know people love Mary Kondo and it's like spark joy and her ideas. I don't know. I started wondering like why is her book so popular? And I'm not anti Mary Kondo if you like her show or her books, but like she would say things like something about folding up clothes, and I'm like, "No, I don't do that. I hate folding up clothes." Like, I like to hang up clothes in my closet where I can see them, and I just found that worked the best for me. I don't like all these expensive closet organizers. I feel like they waste precious closet space, and another thing too, another reason why I wouldn't fold up your clothes is they just get wrinkly. Like, just hang them up on a hanger, and you don't throw clothes in the dryer, like, this is not even a minimalist thing, this is just making your clothes last longer. You wash them on a maybe a warm cold cycle. I don't do cold cold because I used to do cold cold, but then I realized sometimes I know they say, oh, cold water will get out stains, but not always. So I just started washing on warm cold. Okay, and yeah, I'm not gonna yeah, so I just decided I don't want to be like Mary Kondo or super minimalist when it comes to like yeah, so anyway, I've decided to keep clothes I like, but I've been thinking about why I wanna do something because 'cause I'm like, "What if I wear something later? What if the" like, I can if I bought something, I don't wanna necessarily get rid of it, like, I actually like most things I bought, and they keep saying, "Well, people aren't gonna wear certain things," and I don't know, I don't really agree with that advice either because I feel like if you know your style, maybe it's just if you know your style and you know your taste and you know what you like, you probably would wear something until it falls apart. But this is more contingent upon, do you know your style or do you not know your style? If you don't know what you like, then you might impulse buy more. I don't know, but I don't buy clothes that I don't not wear, so I don't really understand the term the the thought process behind like people are gonna buy clothes that they don't wear, because I've never done that, so I don't even think that's true for everybody. I think a lot of people wear what they buy. I don't know. I'm just like, a lot of the advice that they give you about decluttering a closet or getting rid of clothes, it doesn't really ring true for me. I'm not saying it can't ring true for you. Maybe it does. Maybe you really like those shows or those books that give you ideas. I don't know. And then there was another one. Okay. I never want to get down on people who organize their houses and stuff, but I remember just reading something about this lady, like she was into organizing her closets and stuff. And I thought, well, if you're really into organizing things, that would be really great. But then she started talking about how like she needed to go to therapy, and I was just like, I don't know. And okay, I'm gonna have probably an unpopular opinion about this, but I feel like therapy's kind of overrated. And I think like if you have something that you like to do that gives you a sense of purpose, you don't need therapy. You just need a hobby. And some people probably don't like my viewpoint. And I'm not saying that not everybody can benefit from therapy. And if you really feel like you need therapy, then you should go. However, therapy is expensive, and a lot of people are in therapy for years and they don't seem like they're more well adjusted. Like I always think about like Woody Allen, how he would just openly talk about how he went to therapy and like he never really got over his angst, and the only thing that really got him over it was his new wife or the lady that he's been married to recently. But in the past, apparently, he was just all about the therapy. And I see this thrown around willy nilly too. If somebody does something that's unconventional, yeah, people do a lot of weird stuff, but people will be like, they need therapy. And I'm like, you're not a therapist, okay? There are cases where maybe somebody needs therapy if like they're doing something that's like self-harming or depressing, like if they're really depressed. I mean, but in general, if somebody's just happy and they're doing something unconventional, I don't know, do they need therapy? Probably not. they they have a way that they feel happy, and if they want therapy they can seek it out. They don't need you to be snarky, and the internet is just a little snarky sometimes. I'm just like, it's just like the people who say that they are pro science, and I'm like, do you really have to say? I don't know, it's just not everything people say is helpful, you know. But that's just my opinion. I'm just sharing some opinions this morning. I'm sure everybody can take whatever they want and apply it however you want. But I think if somebody's just living their best life and enjoying their hobbies and finding something that gives them purpose, that's so much better than therapy. And we live in the age of like 2021 where I don't know, if you really want therapy, do one of those online, like I don't know much about it, but they keep advertising this thing like where you can do online therapy and you can talk to a therapist online, and it's supposed to be cheaper than, I don't know, like a traditional therapist. Or you could read self-help books, or like there's that website Psychology Today, like you can just Google different topics related to therapy. I don't think like, because think about it, a therapist, I'm not saying that they can't help people, but they go to school and they obtain that training, so you could probably read a lot of the literature that they've read if you're an investigative and research oriented person, and probably figure out methods for helping yourself if you really wanted to go the therapy route but didn't want to go into debt doing it. I mean, I don't know. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I feel like sometimes just having a purpose is better than having therapy. I really do, because like, okay, if you see somebody who's eclectic and they're unconventional and maybe they live in a way that makes you feel uncomfortable, like, I don't know, just there are people in this world. They're not everything they do is going to make you feel personally comfortable. But here's the thing, and I'm so glad that my mom always taught me this. Like, my mom's a very conventional person, but she always says it doesn't really matter what anybody thinks about you. She's so smart in this sense, like, and she's so right. And I want to tell you that again because I struggled with that a lot in my life. But then it just kind of, the more I reflected upon it, it became the core of my being. It doesn't really matter like what anybody else thinks about you. It's not that you can't want people to like you. It's not that you can't want people to agree with you. It's just if you're encountering like a situation in your life where people are just harassing you or bullying you, like their opinions don't necessarily reign the day. And I feel like if I could talk to my younger self, because when I was a kid, I was bullied a little bit in school. If I could have talked to my younger self, I would have been more of a kind of person that stood up for myself more. And I learned that later in life about standing up for yourself and not accepting like subpar treatment. Because anybody who, like, in any situation where they try to make you think that they're more savvy or they're better at thinking than you, they're wrong, okay? I just want you to know that because people who are positive, they want to build other people up. They're not looking to tear anybody down in any way whatsoever. That's truth, okay? It's a truth that some people in our society don't like though, because there are people that want to keep, I hate to say it, there are people that get off on keeping others down, like, and I'm not even gonna like go into that topic again because I'm like, who cares? Like, they're not really a topic for my channel. I'm just gonna say, if like you encounter like unfair criticism or people that just critique everything you do in a way that just doesn't make any sense or is just not helpful in a way, or just like tries to sap your joy away, like, because there are people on this earth, they will see that you are having a good day and you're feeling happy, and they're not happy within themselves, so they will look for things to say to you to try and bring you down. And they like that. Like, some people like that confrontation. Like, they enjoy that. Like, they get a kick out of it because they're not like self-sufficient. Like, actually, this is my opinion. I think bullies are not self-sufficient. Like, they don't have inner value for themselves. Like, they don't know how to find things to do within themselves. Even young people, because I hate to tell you this, young people know right from wrong. Anybody above the age of like 5 knows that they shouldn't bully someone. They just know. They know better. Like, everybody's taught the same things. Like, I don't think anybody's parents intentionally, like, there probably are some weird parents out there that might think bullying's cool, but most people have taught their kids that they shouldn't bully people. So if a kid grows up to be an adult, somebody who bullies, they know that they shouldn't do that. Like, nobody is like completely ignorant on that topic. So yeah, but I feel like sometimes there's a way you can respond to bullying. You need to disarm them with your words and your actions, you see. Disarm a bully or just disarm anybody that's a critic. Like, one way to disarm them is just, you don't even have to respond to what they say. Like, if somebody's a bully and they're saying something that's like criticizing you or just any kind of criticism that's just not helpful or doesn't make you feel good, you have the permission to just walk away. And I know that's another thing too. People would be like, no, you should fight. Like, I know there were a lot of shows, and I always hated this premise where this dad would teach his son that he should punch the kid who's the bully. And I'm like, I don't know, unless somebody laid hands on you or something. Like, okay, if another kid like was punching another kid, I could see that. But if some kid's just calling a kid a silly name or a dumb name, I think a better rejoinder would be thinking of a witty comeback that would kind of, and I just wish I could tell my younger self that. But one time I did, like, one time there was a bully and they were doing something that was kind of just obnoxious. And I said something to them, and it kind of stopped them in their tracks. And they're like, "What?" So they didn't expect that. Or you can just not talk to them. You can walk away. But if it's a situation where you are younger and you're being bullied, or just even an adult and you're being bullied, and like, let's say, I don't know, like, get your friends to like help you out. Like, talk to your friends. I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore. I can't really tell people, and I don't know how things are now. Well, I remember how things were when I was a kid, but in 2021, I'm sure it's still the same way. If you're being bullied, just tell your friends to like help you. Like, and I think real friends would, kind of help you out and kind of stave off the bully, or just kind of put the bully in its place. Its place. Sorry, I'm talking about like it's an inanimate object, or like it's a cat or dog. It's not. It's a person. All people have feelings, and also that's another thing too that we have to kind of keep in mind when we're talking about bullies. Sometimes people who are bullies are acting out because they have anger issues, or there's some sort of emotional trauma, or just other things going on in their life that you don't really see beneath the surface.